Hey Virgo, and welcome back to the Journey of Self. I am your intuitive tarot reader as well as your host, Brandy, and this is the journey. Okay, guys, so Virgo, this energy that you guys are going through, I'm gonna have to say it is a little bit heavy, but I need you to know that it is for the best. I don't even really, I'm at a loss for words. Like, I really rock with Virgos so hard. I have a lot of Virgos in my life that I really love, but either, last month, coming into this month, or it may for some take a little bit longer, but there's going to be an emotional shifting. There is going to be a sort of emotional awakening, spiritual ascension. And I know we like to make it all rainbows and butterflies, but this right here, it feels rather heavy and it feels like it's not going to be comfortable, nor is it going to be pleasant. All right. Now, this reading is not going to be horrible, right? Because there are some really good cards out here. But as far as the meditative state, there are some things, or the meditative portion. I personally am in a meditative state. So if you see me a little bit stoic, this is the reason. It's not because of your reading. I am probably going to be stoic on all my readings. I have been at least for the last month, because as I do this type of work, I too need to level up. I too need to grow. So let's get right into it, okay? The first card that I picked for you guys from the Fairy Tale Oracle deck, which is what I use to kind of get a theme of what's going on. There's two cards that I picked for you guys, and the first card is balance, all right? And I'm going to show it to you. Okay. This card is the day boy and the night girl, balance. All right. And there's a particular quote that I want to read from this card. It says, "You must be strong in the day, you must be strong in the dark as well as in the day, else you will always be only half brave." So this card comes to you to let you know that you cannot live afraid of the light. For bright light that is wanting to shine on you and bring you full and radiant life is a healing light. All right, guys. So if you're going through this type of transition, and you know what? Honestly, this transition for a lot of you is playing out in a 3D. There is something in your life that may have come to a ending, a standstill, a stagnation, a halt. There are some realizations that have been made, and they're not easy to digest and to accept. And therefore, it's making you go inward and really think about what it is you want out of life and who you are. The warmth of love and joy and your own flourishing cannot be hidden away from. You cannot hide from the dark either. There will be times of stillness, quiet, and subtle hiddenness when you can walk unwatched and more of an observer in the world. This card is about polarizing beliefs. This card is about a meeting point where understanding and love between different people begins. This is about masculine and feminine energies in relationship. This card is about balance that is needed to be the wholeness of yourself. This card is also about conditioned fears, a time to confront overwhelming and overcome fears, a kind-hearted guide through darkness, counseling and compassion, recovery from an abusive childhood. And this card gives you the message that there is a whole new world for you to explore. Now, this also has something to do with relationships. Some of you may have had this everything in your life. If you are Virgo on the receiving end of this, You may have had a situation with the third party that came crashing down and made you kind of assess what it is that you accept in life, the red flags that you tend to ignore, or the intuition of yourself that you tend to ignore out of maybe compassion, love, or non-boundaries, or not having boundaries. Um, giving too much of yourself and receiving too little. This is also about patterns being broken. I think Aries had a similar reading where Aries was having a awakening that was going to awaken. It was kind of going to be like a curse being broken, and it is going to awaken everyone around them as well, right? When they accept and understand a particular truth that they were dealing with, right? Or a truth that had been hidden from them, in quotations, to protect them, right? So the next card that we have is the Frog Princess. And this card is about intimacy. Okay? There are qualities available to you at present: charm, learning, and wisdom and intimacy. Share your food on your plate. Share your thoughts and words. So if you think you can take the benefits of a relationship without the intimacy and the lessons that relationships demand, it cannot happen. Guys, I'm going to be honest with you. There are some lessons being taught right now, some karmic lessons all over this reading. The next card that I have for you guys was obsession, right? Let me see if I have that card. Yeah. This card is about a girl who really wanted these, because it's about stories, right? From the Brothers Grimm. So this particular card is about a young woman who really wanted to be a dancer, and she found these shoes that she really wanted. And as she got the shoes, they began to dance all day, all night, and she found no rest, correct? So this is about something that started as recreation, or something that started and you thought it was going to just bring you pure joy. And this thing ended up enslaving you. Whatever this energy is, it could have been a relationship, it could have been boundaries that you kind of let down and you thought it would be for a short time, and it became just a non-reciprocal, or a very disrespectful type of relationship. Things you let slide, right? This card is also about you have to first understand how and why you were attached to this thing, right? And that's like, in my book, I kind of said, in my book, there was a part where I said, in order to break the chains that bind us, we must first understand how we are attached. It's kind of like you have to understand the mechanism of the lock in order to unlock it. So there's going to be some type of reflection where you have to really sit back and be truthful with yourself, right? Because only in that truth will you see it for what it is. You kind of have to sit back and be like, it is what it is. Now, what is it? Be brave to look at the light and the dark attributes of what's going on in your life. I know that some of you may have caused this issue in your life. You may have caused this awakening, but let's be real. We're all meant to ascend. So yes, while your actions may have caused this, your ascension is not by mistake, right? So there's really no reason to feel guilt. Let that go, because we've all made mistakes and we've all done things that weren't for our highest good. So let's let that go. Let's look at the glass half full and just take the lesson. Let's not take it as a L, as a loss. Let's take it as a W. Let's look at the glass half full. Now that I see the path that I don't want to go down, let's think about how we got here. Let's map out how I got to this place. How did I get to this destination? Okay, now when I see this road again, I'm going to know not to take it. When I see these red flags, I'm going to know to listen. When I hear my intuition gnawing at me, I'm going to know, okay, here we are, right? This is the attitude that we have to take on with this particular energy, because there is a chance for you to get free and to become who you were meant to be, your whole self. Something has enslaved you, whether it's a job you took on, not really knowing the full ramifications, whether it's power that you let slip away little bit by little bit, and now you're powerless in a situation. Don't worry about it. Do not worry about it. What you need to worry about is how you got there and how you can change your actions to start turning the wheel in a different direction, right? The wheel of fortune is one of those things that has ups and downs, but the downs are caused by actions and the ups are caused by good works, right? What have you done to earn it? So when karma comes a knocking, she's not coming to punish. She's coming to take an inventory. And if you had a lot of L's, if you had a lot of ignoring of the signs that told you go the other way, eventually you come to a brick wall. Eventually you come to the tower. But it's okay, because apparently, let's just be real. There were things in your life that you weren't happy with. And instead of just facing them head on and saying, I don't like this, I need to change this, you may have taken a Seven of Swords type of energy toward it, or somebody did that to you. You may have seen the signs along the way, knew that they were being a little bit out of character, not themselves, sneaky, remiss, and you allowed it to kind of take shape until it became kind of, I'm almost gonna say, like, I want to use the word curse, but if you guys ever watch my videos on curses and things like that, I don't really believe in curses. What I believe is giving a particular energy power. It eventually takes on a life of its own, and it can self move, right? Because energy cannot be destroyed. It can only be like transformed, transmuted, right? It can't really be ever destroyed. So when you bring a certain type of energy into your life and give it power, this type of power that we're looking at in this reading, it's going to take on a life of its own, and it's going to take off on you. And that's kind of what's happened. Whatever this energy was, it kind of took off on you, right? So this month, you guys are being offered a chance to heal, but you have to be willing to part with the poison. Whatever this thing is, whatever it is that's not working, you have to be honest and say, whatever. There's also a sense that you guys feel as though if you do this, you will lose something. Well, let me tell you something. You have to be willing, when you're dealing with obsession, or I don't really want to call it obsession, that's the name of the card, but when you're dealing with addiction, when you're dealing with curse in quotations, right? You have to be willing to separate yourself from that and let whatever else has to go with it go, right? Now, as you regain yourself and come whole again, you will regain and call to you all those things that had been lost, because nothing is really lost, right? It's all energy, right? Okay, it's all frequency, right? So anything you had before, you can have again. The same thing as, karma coming to your door and doing like an inventory and being like, yeah, you effed up. That can happen again if you don't understand how you got there, if you don't understand how to avoid it next time. But it's the same thing. If you've been to a beautiful place, if you've had achievements in your life, you can achieve them again because you know how to get there, right? This is the reason why people say things like wealth that is easily come by is easily lost. Things, things that are given and instead of being earned are easily lost and may never be recovered because you really don't know how to earn it. It was given anyway, correct? You may not be given a gift like that again. So you're being offered from the universe, from God, from spirit, whatever you believe in, you're being offered a chance to become whole, to regain your power. I know you may feel very powerless right now, but no. This is only so you can look at the situation and make your appropriate moves. There's also a card that came out for you guys, Katouche, and it's the power of spoken word. You guys are going to have to learn to say yes when you know it's the right thing and say no when it does not work for you. There is power in your words. There is power in your boundaries. This whole entire spread that we're about to get into, let's get into it. Where are my cards? Here we go. Let's get into it. This whole entire spread has everything to do with self-love. Everything to do with self-love. If someone is doing something to you that is not, conducive to what it is you want out of a relationship, remember what I always say, you are the gatekeeper. They're not actually doing anything to you. It's what you've allowed to occur. You can change this by simply saying no, no more. And don't sit and cry over spilled milk on the power that was lost or what was lost from you giving up this power or from you saying yes before. Let's not do that. There is no reason to do that. This is not, while we call life a game, there is no really such thing as losing or winning. Okay? There's no real such thing as winning or losing. It is more or less about what you've learned, right? It's about wisdom being gained. It's about being able to manifest. You guys are also being offered a chance to balance your masculine and feminine and be able to manifest whatever you want. So whatever has happened, because I'm not really quite sure just yet, I am getting a real strong relationship influence on this particular reading. There's something that happened in relationships that is really making you reassess what it is you bring to the table, what you allow other people to bring to your table, and how you're showing up in the world, right? Three of Cups has been clarified by the Three of Cups. There could have been someone in your midst that enjoys third-party situations because it gives them vitality. It makes them feel young. It makes them feel powerful. This could have even been you. They like the competition that is gained by third-party situations. They like seeing people compete, right? I think I said this before in another reading, but this is the type of person that when you're out with them, they look at other people on purpose just to see you sweat, right? This is what this card kind of represents. This is the Law of Attraction deck. However, when you read the backstory to this particular card in this deck, it talks about also a sense of kink, right? Where you may be dealing with someone who may like things that you may consider taboo, or you may like things that others consider taboo. Let me tell you something. Taboos are only relevant to the society that is in question, correct? What's taboo in America is not taboo in India. What's taboo in India is not taboo in America, correct? So taboos are once again how you look at the glass, right? Now listen, if you like being free and you want to be free in relationship to date whomever, in order to get karma to show up at your door and not say in the form of another, you're a liar, you're a cheater, I don't love you anymore, all you have to do is be honest with everyone involved. That's it. It's that simple. If you know that's what you like, do that and say it and speak and live in your truth. The power of spoken word. Somebody says, I want to be exclusive. You say no, but be willing to part with them leaving because maybe that's not what they want. You see how that works? Karma is not a bitch and she's not here for revenge. Karma is here to ask us how are we operating. There's nothing wrong with not wanting to be monogamous. Let's be clear. I'm an Aquarius, so you know I'm never judging. There's nothing wrong with not wanting to be monogamous, but when you have other people who are expecting that from you and you can't speak up and say that's not what I'm giving you, in a sense, it's cheating. In a sense, you're cutting them short because you're not giving them the whole truth. Now, if this is happening to you, I feel like this person is still pining over you. They're thinking about the good times. They may be listening to music. Some of you can be overindulging. Some of you can be overindulging. Other people are trying to find a solution to this situation. Or all of these things all at once. Pining over the situation, looking back at the good times, trying to find a solution. This card also talks about idealized love, right? Like I said, someone may have thought that you were their ideal. You may have thought someone was your ideal, only to find out that maybe you, I don't want to say tricked yourself or fooled yourself, but maybe you didn't really observe the red flags. Correct? This is the general and the spiritual part, or reading, I should say. This is a general and a spiritual reading, right? So love is going to be separate. If love comes up, we'll talk about it. But the reason why we're actually talking about relationships right now is because this is what's led to this particular situation. I feel like you guys are really stuck in your head and trying to figure out how you're operating. Other people are trying to slay the beast inside of themselves that actually makes them operate in such a way. They're working hard to do so, right? Energy is fluid. You may be in front of this energy, you may be behind it, you may be going through it currently. As you guys go through this, you will find new passions. Some of you really have passion for the things that other people don't necessarily like about you. Like some of you really have this passion for like the taboo. There is a new emotional renewal trying to come into your life. Remember, I no longer call the cups love offers. They can be. I'm not in denial of that, but only you know the value that this emotional renewal, the emotional offer has in your life. As I always say, you'll have to tell me in the comments. The next card that we have, we're clarifying the Four of Wands talks of serenity, right? Peacefulness. I feel like a lot of you are trying to bring the serenity back into your life. But let me tell you, if a tower has come into your life and things have fallen, before you try and rebuild that, ask yourself truly and honestly, is this what I wanted? Because I feel like there was a lack of passion to keep that tower up from the beginning. There was a passion actually to the opposite more than to that tower. Okay. This could be in the form of example. You may be in a relationship but wanted to be single. You may have been in a relationship that really wasn't serving you, and you said to yourself all the time, I got to get away from this person. Now that the tower has actually come, or now that things have actually fallen apart, right? Now you're like, oh, I want to rebuild this. But ask yourself, are you just wanting to rebuild it for the challenge, Virgo? Or do you really want this? Were you really happy then? And as I said that, the Seven of Cups comes out, confusion. That's illusion, delusion, right? Somebody may come to you and have something that they want to speak to you about, or you may want to go to someone and tell them how you feel. I feel like the emotions are so heavy and hot that, and when I say heavy and hot, I mean too hot to hold, too hot to handle, right? And in that sense that you may actually have to write them down. You're so emotionally overwhelmed, and maybe not in such a great way, right? There may be thick, heavy, murky emotions. I mean, this is the Seven of Cups, correct? Confusion. Someone in your life may also have been wearing a false mask, or you were doing that to them. You were doing something maybe out of duty, responsibility, because you were already there, as opposed to that really wanting it, as opposed to really the Ace of Wands, that real passionate spark. The Wheel of Fortune, let's think about it, right, is karmic, right? And you have two cards. You're stuck in your head about maybe some things that you've done, things that have happened, feeling trapped, trying to slay a beast inside of yourself, trying to work on your dark attributes, your dark side. And then the Wheel of Fortune also brings an offer of a new spark, a new passion. So you're not in trouble. I don't care how it seems, Virgo. You're not in trouble, right? This is not a bad thing. This is a chance for you to actually look at your life and rearrange it. This is not a bad thing. The next card you have out here is the Seven of Pentacles. I feel like in this card, when I see it, it's about looking around. What have I gained? What have I lost? What's dead? What's alive? What am I investing in? Is this actually going to bear fruit or not? But there is also a sense of you worrying about what other people are thinking up here in the top. You're worried about what other people are thinking. And as I always say, don't do it for other people. Do it for selfish reasons, because only then can you show up as your truest self. The next card that we're clarifying is the Queen of Wands. In this particular deck, the Queen of Wands talks about intuition and telepathy. Your spiritual gifts are growing. You're getting a chance to awaken. There are gifts that are going to be given to you. There are gifts that are going to reawaken in you. And you have to be willing to, live in that newness, because it's only going to give you the tools to manifest what you want. Because Also, when I pulled the other oracle cards for you, manifestation was huge. You're going to be able to manifest exactly what you want if you're honest with yourself. I would say move slowly as you plant your seeds. Move slowly as you decide what it is that you really want. Make stable and calculated moves. For some people, it's going to look like you're not moving at all, but it's not about other people. It's about you. It's about the no's and the yes. Take your time. Use your intuition. There is a question here of partnership because the lovers are out. There's a question here of partnership. Some of you are wondering if you're going to reinvest or invest in a partnership, correct? Spirit is saying, use your intuition. Try and understand where the other person is coming from. What are they thinking? And be honest. Ask them straight out, what the hell are your intentions? Because I'm going to need to know. And then after you hear their answer, look for their actions to back that up. The last card that you guys have out here is emotional renewal. As I said, you guys are on your path to spiritual awakening. All right. There's going to be some fast communication that comes out, and I think it's going to set you on a new journey. So I would say wait for all the information. If you need to, maybe ask other people for the information if they're not forthcoming. It's going to help you make your plans. It's going to help you wait for your ships to come in, waiting for the sun. Right here in the 3 of Wands, making your next move your best move and not your last. Correct? So here with the 3 of Cups. Since the 3 of Cups clarified the 3 of Cups, I decided to go back and clarify it again. Hangman. You may need to, like I said, ask the people around you. Ask the people around you. They may be able to see your situation differently than you because they're not in it. I'm going to give you guys a secret. All right? Because you know I love my Virgos. If you guys are thinking about intimacy or thinking about a partnership, it's best to not engage in intercourse with people while you're questioning the validity of your relationship or where you want to take things with them. Why? This is not a thing of morals. This is not, oh, you're going to hurt their feelings. That's not even where I go with things because, as you guys know, I'm an aqua, right? It's never really about that. It's about logic. And also, too, when it comes to spirituality, when it comes to energy, I think of it from a logical standpoint. For those of you who don't know, a woman's back door to her subconscious is her vagina. And when you have intercourse with someone, you exchange energy. You take on their energy, you take on and you give them some of yours. Now, if you want to have a clear thought without interference, you would not want to engage in sexual intercourse because it mixes energies. And if you're thinking about going, staying, investing, you want to have only your thoughts so you know what you're doing, so you can know how you truly feel without interference or interaction with their energy. Correct? Some of you are in relationships. I'm just going to put this out there. Some of you are in relationships that you may not necessarily want to be in. You feel trapped because you're doing that. Because you're doing that, right? When we talk about people putting spells on other people or people trying to bind other people to them, there's something that a lot of tarot readers talk about. They talk about people making food, right? As far as men to women, or making things like, I don't know, some people talked about like, I don't know, like making food or making drinks for people with their own bodily fluids in them. Someone may not be trying to bind you. You may be binding yourself by interacting with this person and thinking it's casual. And it's not. It's energy exchange. For those of you that are extremely telepathic and don't even know it, or extremely intuitive or extremely psychic, you may actually be picking up on that person's, I don't know, inner thoughts, inner emotions, taking them on as your own and not even knowing it because you don't really understand your own abilities. If you're confused, the best thing to do is to pull that aspect of the relationship away, because it only murkies the water. It only like muddles the water. It only makes it more muddy and muddled and murky. Put it that way. There is a third party energy here, or an overindulgence energy. We did talk about obsession. We did talk about addictions. We did talk about third party energy. There is an energy here of that here with the Three of Cups and the Devil. There is an element of someone feeling cheated, someone feeling as though they do not recognize who they're dealing with. This is coming from your partner, or this is coming from you to your partner. This could even be happening with people around you. Friends, family members, jobs. Correct? I feel like some people are worried about society, what they'll think, religion. They're in a marriage and they may be pining over someone else. They may be overindulging. Instead of facing the truth of their situation, they may just self-medicate. Now, Virgos, you guys are the natural healers of the zodiac, as well as the natural, virgins of the zodiac. So there is a sense of innocence that comes with Virgos. And there's also a sense of they'll do anything for you. People know that. Everybody is not honest and on the up and up. Some people may be playing with your emotions. They're playing on your emotions. But because you are this person, you may be playing on somebody else's emotions because of your natural abilities. Some of you are not even really spiritual, right? And I'm not saying that as a dig. What I'm saying is you're not really aware of your real full power, and you're living in the 3D. And it's wreaking havoc on everyone around you. And you don't know why. You're like, I just want to do this, that, and the third. How come they're not down? Because you don't understand that you have to match frequency and vibration for things like that, right? If you want to be, if you want to not be monogamous, maybe you go find yourself a swingers camp where everybody comes for the same thing, right? You can't be in a marriage and be, and be all over the place, because then it brings this type of energy, toxicity. People become very angry, very belligerent. They become very bitter. They become obsessed with even catching and watching, right? Obsessed because they feel bound to you. They feel like, some people feel like, oh, I started this, now I have to finish it. So they're going to stick it out, even though it hurts like hell and love is no longer being served. It's only a bunch of low blows and head punches. You see what I mean? And instead of walking away, they're like, nah, I'm going to finish this to the end. Or they may think about when things were good and stay in that energy, as opposed to looking at what's actually happening now. So there's something here about a toxic relationship, probably long-term, probably very comfortable as well. The reason why people use the expression, the devil we know. The Knight of Cups. I feel like this is your energy, Virgo, or this is somebody else's energy coming toward your partner, to be quite honest. The Ace of Swords has clarified the Knight of Cups. This is a truth that has been discovered. Either you've been discovered wanting to give your cup to someone else, or you've discovered that somebody else wants to give their cup to someone else. That is the truth, right? And as I always say when I see the Ace of Swords, let's clarify the Ace of Swords with my African American tarot. As I always say in the African American tarot, let's see what comes out. Yeah, see? Yeah. So here we go. We have a Tower. That truth brought a realization that something had been long dead. Maybe you didn't even know it was dead. I mean, this thing has flies, bugs on it. It's Skeletor. And it's still trying to move around. There has been an emotional upheaval that is going to change some things forever. When I think of this, I think of things like tsunami, Katrina, right? This is something that you guys have probably tried to shock back to life several times. Where the paddles? Clear. Nah, but it wasn't clear. It was this. It was toxic. There was no clarity to be seen because the behavior. You know, I feel like because some of you have self-medicated or this was your partner, take it how it resonates, right? Because the partner may have been self-medicating or you may have been self-medicating, there were cycles that just kept repeating and repeating and repeating. And I feel like for some people, it's only when you self-medicated that you kind of let your ambitions drop. Struggling with wanting to do something but trying to resist, then self-medicating, letting your ambitions drop and going for it, saying, fuck it, I'm going to do it. There's a sense here now that things are being cut. The fat is being cut from whatever this was. It is no longer sweet, right? It is no longer flavorful, right? It's no longer tasty. It's actually bitter, sharp, cold, uncomfortable. And the truth has been seen. The veil has been lifted. This could have something to do with fire sign, air sign, earth sign, obviously, right? Right? The veil has been lifted. The sun. There could be something that you're not seeing, information to be revealed. You're standing at the gates right now, Virgo. You're standing at the gates. Yes, this could represent another outside person, but this is your reading. The High Priestess is present. You are standing at the gates. If you wish to see it for what it really is, you will figure this out. Remember, the Three of Cups came out from the beginning in the Law of Attraction deck. That is about solutions, as well as third-party energy, as well as maybe taboos. It's also about solutions. Idealized love. You can't have idealized love when the Ace of Swords comes. You can't have idealized love. Idealized meaning it's put on a pedestal. It's not really what it appears, right? You can't have that when the Tower comes. You got to see it for what it is. And if you choose to stand at the gates, cut the fat, accept it for being uncomfortable, not sweet, unflavorful. The sun. The sun is here. The sun is here. There may have been somebody that you were chasing or somebody that was chasing you that realized that there's no need to chase. Chasing is not it. Chasing is not it. With that being said, let's talk about this. I'm just going to give a quick little something on that twin flame journey, right? When we talk about the runner and the chaser phase. I personally don't want to encourage people on the twin flame journey because a lot of the people in the community are empathic, psychic. A lot of the people in the community really have a predisposition for love and to be loved. Correct? Therefore, that leaves us open, the community as a whole, to narcissists. And there is a phase in the narcissistic relationship of runner and chaser, except as opposed to the twin flame relationship, you get stuck there. A lot of people are in that runner chaser phase right now and don't know if they're ever going to come out. Yeah, I'm a psychic. I'm a tarot reader. I'm also an Aquarius. But as a lot of enlightened tarot readers know, nobody owns the entire truth. That's why they always say may not resonate, may resonate. Because they know that. It may not, you don't own the entire truth. But one thing I can tell you as an Aquarius is I always have things to say that people don't really want to hear because a lot of the times I'm in front of the curve. So a lot of times I find myself as the odd man out. And let me tell you something. A lot of these relationships, this runner chaser shit, is not going to end well. And a lot of people don't want to admit that because then they have to realize that they wasted their effort. In a way, Virgo, this is where you are now. So welcome, my babies. You are also in front of the curve. You're realizing that you've invested in something that maybe wasn't for your highest good, no matter what you've gained from it. We have the Ten of Pentacles here, but in this particular card, I always see miscommunication. The Ten of Pentacles is prefaced with the Devil card twice, a Tower moment, the Three of Cups twice, as well as the Seven of Swords. So there is something that you're realizing that you invested in that is not what it appeared to be and not what you wanted. You're trying to figure out, for some of you, you're trying to figure out how to fix this. And I commend you, Virgo, because that's your nature. That's your nature. But unless something changes, it can never be true to its full nature. I don't know if you guys can see this, but there's a card stuck in my hand as I'm shuffling, and I know what this card is. It was on the bottom of the deck. I know what the card is. It's the Strength card. All right? You guys, it sucks right now. I get it. Feels like total shit. But you guys are on your way. You guys would benefit from listening to every morning. Every morning, I want you guys to listen to Jhené Aiko, Frequency. Okay? Every morning. That is a song that I am recommending for you guys. I will also maybe even leave a link to it in the comment section or in the description section. I'll leave a link. You guys are now trying to figure out who you're giving your cup to, how you're giving your cup, or somebody is doing that with you and your energy, trying to figure out what they're doing, how you're giving your cup, who you're giving your cup to, how you partake of your emotions, how you allow others to partake of your emotions, how you partake of other people's emotions. The Queen of Cups is extremely intuitive. We also had the Queen of Wands in the Law of Attraction deck as well. Extremely intuitive. The High Priestess is also present, guys. You are standing at the gates. You are standing at the gates. You are on your way. Also listen to Jhené Aiko, Ascension. I may leave that as well. Because that's what it is. Like she says in that song, I'm on my way, I'm on my way. I lost my way. Like, then you showed up and I got up, sort of found my way. You know what I'm saying? So like relationships are used to be reflections of us, guys. I always say this. People are either who you were, who you're going to be, or who you are at the time. I feel guilty when my vibration changes and I have to let people leave my life. I feel guilty because subconsciously I know that they may feel like they're unworthy, and that's not the case. We're just on different parts of the path at this current time, and it's not conducive to my growth. There's no such thing as unworthy. We're all worth it. That's why we're here. The universe, God, nature does not waste, doesn't believe in waste. We're all here for a purpose. Trying to find your purpose and walk in that truth is going to help you live your best life and be of the most benefit to other people. The Seven of Swords. Seeing another side of oneself, seeing another side of somebody else, and somebody else looking at you like they don't recognize you. You guys could definitely be dealing with a fire sign. Some of you could be dealing with a water sign. I think also, too, there are people that are watching this. And I ain't gonna lie, guys. They're happy. They're happy that this is what's going on. Maybe because some of them want your partner, or maybe because some of them, it's a sense, it's two things with you. It's like with you, some people don't like the way you're behaving, and then other people are overlooking it. But some people are happy to see this either because they want in or they want you out. Don't worry about that. We all fuck up and embarrass ourselves and things go to shit. We've all been there, done that. Most of us, if you've lived any amount of life, you've gotten a t-shirt as well for that. So like there's no tea, there's no shade there, Virgo. Just do the work. Do the work to reconcile your own happiness. I don't care for you to reconcile with anyone, especially if you weren't happy from the beginning, even if you self-sabotaged. If you self-sabotage, it's probably because you weren't putting in the work. Maybe the passion was dead. Maybe you felt no more inspiration to work at this. Whenever that happens, don't feel guilty. I'm saying this because I understand this, right? Because like I just said, sometimes your vibration changes from the people around you and you have to then take your leave, right? Or you have to ask them to exit. Don't feel guilty. It's your right to be happy. I think last month I said that to you guys. It is your right to change. This is a Five of Pentacles. Can talk about spiritual poverty as well as financial loss. I feel as though you guys may have found yourself in a stable place, and maybe this change or whatever this is bringing you a little bit of instability, but you're trying to make stable, calculated moves at this time. As they say, pain is the best teacher. There's something here about reciprocation. Somebody may have felt like you weren't given enough, or you may feel like somebody else wasn't given enough, or you may have felt like you were carrying someone, or they were carrying you. Somebody felt like a beggar in the situation, and somebody felt like they had all the power, and then it backfired. Put yourself where you belong. I feel like you guys are going to be telling someone, or this can be an air sign telling you that they're moving on. They're shooting for the stars. They've gotten their shit together, because you got to think about this. This is the light and the dark attribute, two opposite polarities pulling to go in one direction. So this is about self-mastery as well as moving forward, right? If we want to think of it in a 3D, some people could be getting a new vehicle. Some people could be, even changing, I would say at times, changing residency or traveling. But there could be a hard, because this page of swords is stiff. He's like made out of like stone or something. Whatever you have to tell somebody could be hard and cold, right? Like stone. Also sharp, right? As a page of swords, or they could have something to tell you about that. There's information that's going to come in this direction. But I think it could be either you telling somebody or you getting information of something that sets you in a new direction. There's someone who could have been emotionally manipulative. Either you or someone else. They feigned to be emotionally mature, but they were not. They were not. And I feel like it could have possibly been the older person in the relationship. Let's clarify this king. Yeah. Let's clarify this King of Cups. This could also be you or the other person trying to hold on to this situation, being like, yo, I've changed, kind of stuck in their head, still trying to slay their beast, trying to work hard. Or this could be you trying to make emotionally mature decisions to look for answers, as well as to hold on to your heartstrings and your purse strings. So you could figure out where you're going to invest next, how you're going to make your next move. Somebody is trying to make moves here. Ten of Pentacles, correct? If you have been in a situation with family or something like that, or miscommunication, there is a sense here that you do have all the tools you need to rectify this situation, right? There's also a sense that you may decide to take your tools, put them in a bag, right? Go on a new journey. There may be information like that. I don't know. Some of you are going to realize that you're really on cloud nine because the situation has ended, and you're going to get a sense of freedom, a sense of powerfulness. You're going to get your power back, Right now, yeah, it may feel like shit. I mean, we got the Five of Pentacles out here. We got the Tower out here. We got the Devil out here a couple of times. The Seven of Swords. Right now, it feels like shit. But I didn't see the Three of Swords come out one time. So there is, I don't know, Virgo, there's kind of like a truth you might have to really realize, that maybe you're not as heartbroken about this ending as, I don't want to say as you should be, because there's no such thing. But like, maybe you're going to realize you're not as heartbroken about this as you thought you would be, right? Or maybe someone else isn't. Maybe someone else is just like, I'm good, I'm done, right? There's a sense here of you guys trying to, like you're trying to make your next move your best move here, right? Beat, battered, and bruised, but ready to go on, because we're clarifying the Two of Wands. And the Seven of Swords and the Seven of Wands shows up. You're defensive. You're trying to hold your position, hold your ground, stand your ground. But there's a decision to be made. Some of you are going to take the bull by the horns, and some of you are going to anguish in this a little bit further. There's a sense here that, I don't know, someone may want to win at all costs. Somebody might actually, I don't know, I feel like somebody may want to make you pay. Somebody may want to make you pay. And if you're a cross watcher watching this and that's your idea, I just want you to know that karma comes around for all of us. And making people pay is not really your job, especially when they're having a spiritual awakening and they're going to realize on their own. You intervening is only going to slow the process down or muddle the waters. They may still have and they will have the spiritual epiphany, but the next time you look around, if there's something that you want, you may not get that, because they may cut your ass out. Even if you're saying, well, they already did me dirty. Yeah, that's true. But you may actually get an apology, like a real heartfelt understanding, deep understanding of what they did. They may come to you and be like, look, I had no idea who I was. And I apologize for the shit that I put you through, for every time I lied. And, Seven of Swords, Five of Swords, you manipulated the situation, was emotionally unavailable, was emotionally manipulative. I was spiritually poor. I was caught up in addiction. I was caught up in my bullshit. I was caught up in patterns. This person may come and say that, but if you are so just bitter and driven to punish them, they may actually decide that you were part of the problem as well. Because there is a sense here that maybe Virgo got caught up in something where they said yes because they thought it was the right thing to do, but it really wasn't what was going to make them happy. And by the time they found out, it was too late. Now, if you're a cross watcher, let's be honest. Did you see any signs that you knew that they really may have not been ready for this, but you continued anyway? That's also a sense of emotional manipulation. When you know somebody who doesn't want to do something and you continue with it anyway, you're kind of twisting their arm energetically. You're kind of not looking at the red flags either, right? There's a sense that Virgo's not in this alone. There was two in here tangling, maybe even three. All right. So I say to all the cross watchers that are watching this right now, kicking someone when they're down doesn't show a very good character. As bitter as you are, ask yourself, what is it that you hope for that you didn't get? That bitterness does not belong to Virgo. It belongs to you. You got to heal yourself too in order to move forward, especially if there's a family or children involved. Correct? So let's look at a final outcome for Virgo. Moving forward, getting your demons in check. Putting the poison where it belongs. Healing. Cutting out shit in your life that is only harming you. See what I mean, cross watcher? Just in case you're still watching. You may have not liked my advice, but hey, what I'm saying is, don't be the poison. Don't be the poison. There's still a sense of you guys trying to be emotionally mature, right? But beautiful is that boundaries are going to be set. This soldier here, warrior, whatever you want to call him, has this figure in a boundary. And also here, the King of Cups has a cup, right? Emotional will give you the cup, but also has a fucking rock. Excuse me. So yeah, like now I kind of know if I'm giving you a cup or a backhand because I'm not dealing with people overstepping my boundaries. You could get, you could get the cup or you can get the doorknob. You decide. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's a stance that Virgo is going through. I feel like Virgo, though, there is going to be a sense, and you're going to have to work on this, that you're crying over spilled milk, and you may also have some PTSD to the situation. In other words, you may have been through such trauma in this relationship that every once in a while it's going to make you flinch, even though the relationship is ended. You may be triggered moving forward in certain ways, but you're trying to slay the beast of depression. You're trying to slay the beast of regret. You're coming up out of this grave, this hole, the belly of the beast, right? Mm. Mm. Some people may have been dealing with drug addiction that led them to be sexually promiscuous. Some people may have been dealing with sex addiction, point blank period, right? And it's led them down different roads in their lives that have always led to some bullshit. And now they're starting to see that it's not necessarily who I'm choosing, it's how I'm choosing them. It's my motives. It's my modus operandi. It's the way I'm behaving. It's the way I'm actually calculating and doing what I'm doing. There's a decision that's going to be made, and it's going to bring renewal to your life. And I think this decision, right now, you're thinking, resting, retreating, and praying on it. You may even be consulting an expert, because some people are going to decide, you know what? I need a divorce. It's not my wife that's the problem. It's me not being happy in this relationship. It's not my husband. It's me not being happy in this relationship. I'm saying that, yeah, there's no divorce cards out here, but I'm telling you, this has everything to do with relationships. Some people are going to put boundaries in between them and family members. It's the same thing, because they're starting to realize that they don't like the way they're being treated, point blank, period. They don't like the things that people want to, put on them. And they're done with that lifestyle. They're done with all of that. Six of Swords. Yeah. Some people, like I said, what did I say? Some people are moving away from family. Some people are moving away from family here with the Six of Swords and the Ten of Pentacles. They're moving away from family, not in an abandonment way, but in a way that they can be of them highest selves and function at their highest. King of Wands. He is an innovator and an inspiration. He has innovative ideas. Some of you are having a hard time trying to figure out how you're going to do this, but you're going to come up with a solution. And I think that other people in the family too, believe it or not, are going to be on board. You're going to find solutions to this, right? Or even if this is like a work thing, right, that has influenced you to go in this direction, you're going to start choosing better. You're going to understand your worth and understand what you bring to the table, understand what you will and won't do. The Four of Wands. So yeah, this has everything to do with the way you're showing up in the world, 10th house type of stuff, right? Career for some, and others it has everything to do with family stability. Family and stability being two different things. Correct? I want to make that clear. There's information that you'll probably gain that'll help you make this decision. And there's information that you may want to disseminate to other people that'll help you make this decision. Like I said, you guys may still be stuck in your head a little bit. For some of you, there may be secrets, illusions. You may be very emotional about these decisions. For some of you, you're you may be secretly trying to figure out a way to not leave somebody else out in the cold, but to still get your freedom to be emotionally mature about a situation. Some of you feel trapped, point blank, period. You feel trapped with your emotional attachments. But see, Virgo, and I'm going to say this and then I'm going to go. You guys are feeling very Five of Cups, but you're trying, you have nostalgic feelings about when things were good. You may even want to offer someone something. But you may be thinking about your past, because Six of Cups is about past, nostalgia, maybe past people. Somebody wanting to give someone else a gift or give someone something, make someone an offer, correct? So from the 5 to the 6, you guys are going to get through this energy. But here's the Justice card. Yeah, see? There's a Tower here now, right? Tower card. Yeah, see? I said this before this even came out. You guys are thinking, resting, retreating, praying, and even consulting an expert on how you can make this happen, right? Some of you are happy to be single. You're going to realize, look, I'm happy this shit is over. Like, it was just bad anyway. Like, I'm happy being me. Like, I'm happy being single. I'm now starting to see the fruits of my efforts, see the fruits of my labor. There's someone who's been, because the Pentacles for me are always energy as such as time, and money is energy and time. There's someone who may have been energetically draining you and you had no idea until you woke up. A decision on partnership. And finally, the Justice card. What is the Judgment? What is the Judgment card here for? Queen of Pentacles. Some of you may want to start something new with another earth sign. Or this could be somebody who, for the men, it could be a woman that already has a child, or someone who is, this other person could be attached too. That could have been the third party situation, making it a 6-party situation. That's a lot of energy exchange. Some of you want to make a stable offer to somebody else. An offer of stability, an offer of nurturing, an offer of reliability. Some of you are going to be that to yourselves, and it's going to give you new passion, new zeal for life. I feel like as you learn to balance your divine masculine and your divine feminine, for some of you, this could be your energy. Coming from the Judgment, coming from the 5 to the 6 to the Tower to the 9, single, happy. So what are we talking about? Regret, crying over spilled milk, deciding to move on, thinking about the good times, Tower moment, whatever, or Tower came and whatever, being happy, being single, right? So there's going to be like a transitional period where you first are upset about what's happened, realize maybe it was for the better, decide to move on with your life, being happy, just being you, then deciding on partnerships, things of that nature, correct? There's somebody that you guys may want to go toward, or somebody who wants to come toward you. Remember what I said. This person could just want to celebrate good times. Come on, right? With the Ace of Wands here, you're feeling real good, feeling real passionate, like there's a new spark, a new inspiration. But then you have the Knight of Wands energy. This could be you wanting to go in a certain direction, or this could be someone coming toward you. I would say, I'm going to clarify the Knight of Wands. I would say be careful with that type of energy, because it's like double passionate. Yeah, you guys may be rushing toward a decision. It could have something to do with taking your power back, or feeling like you want, full control and power over your life. You may also want to usher someone out of your life. Could be another earth sign, and it could be a fire sign. This could be also a fire sign doing this to you, telling you you can go ahead and get the doorknob, right? There's something here though about kind of like just, I don't know, Virgo. I feel like some of y'all might actually be dancing through this situation and like, okay, cool, whatever. Once again, the lovers are here again. There's definitely a decision on partnership to be made. I feel like you guys are going to move forward. Some of you could be dealing with another water sign, or excuse me, a water sign, fire sign, earth sign, and then working hard, trying to see something come off the ground. Now, this Eight of Pentacles, I've learned recently that this could be about someone finding true love later in life. This could be like after you've had kids and been married for a while, realizing that your true love lies somewhere else, trying to get something off of the ground, working hard. You could also be starting something new. So people could decide to go back to school. You could be deciding to take on this spiritual journey. You may be an initiate on the spiritual journey as opposed to someone who has been here for a while. So you may decide after this, tower moment, after this emotional upheaval, to become more spiritual. But you're definitely going to be more calculating on how you invest your emotions from here on out. That card that I read to you guys about intimacy, if you think you can have a relationship and all the benefits without intimacy, you were wrong. In other words, this is why I talk to you guys about energy exchange through sex. I think that a lot of people think that sex is casual, but since we're all electric and energetic beings, sex is not a casual thing. It's not like, when I wasn't hip to what and who, we are as divine beings, I used to think, and this has nothing to do with religion, by the way. I'm not religious. This is it's about idea of frequency. It's about vibration. It's about energy. Okay. And and the laws of energy, not being able to be destroyed, just transmuted and exchanged, transferred. Right. So when I didn't really understand these things, I used to think that sex was a casual thing too. Right. Like people have casual sex all the time. I used to think it was just casual, or some people have sex because they're in love. Either way, whether you're in love or not, sex is not a casual thing. And you guys I feel like, are starting to realize where you're investing your time and your energy in and who you want around you energetically. You got the Three of Wands. You guys are moving forward to wait for the sun, and you're investing carefully. Some of people are going to think you're not doing anything at all and you're moving slow or not at all, but you're moving calculated. I feel like a lot of you Virgos, as the King of Pentacles, may feel like you fell off the throne, but I feel like you're working really hard to get yourself back up. So I'm sure this reading has been very long. I did like 3 different spreads for you guys. So if somebody wants to timestamp, you could say that the first spread is just a repeat of the other 2. I don't really mind. I don't care. All right, believe. The force, that works through your soul, determining what's possible or impossible, is the difference between success over failure. And above all, who you are is this power of belief. In other words, we are souls having a 3D experience, not a body having a soul experience. Time is money and energy, and you can't get either of those 2 things back. Dream talk. Your subconscious constantly and subtly speaks through your dreams. It's just one of the many ways in which your soul and those here in the spirit world can reach out and communicate with you through signs, symbols, messages, and more. So you guys can expect that for some of you, it's going to be your ancestors, family members that have passed on, that want to come and bring you a message of stability and help you find your way. And a lot of people need to work on self-worth, because the reason why you don't have boundaries is because you think you need to give in order to be worthy or worth it. You overgive because you don't really see the value in yourself, so you give too much. You will be surprised. Acts with love. Their answer may surprise you. Yet whatever their answer, be happy. And this may surprise them. Remember I told you guys that you may be surprised that the other person and you could work this out in a way where you both walk away amicably? You'd be surprised. You got to believe, though. And you got to come from a place of love, compassion, and balance within yourself in order to manifest such things in the 3D. Some are better loved at a distance, for a while anyway, and that's okay. Besides, love doesn't really know the distance. Love doesn't have to be near. You may never understand what's going on in their life, but you can always figure out what's going on in your life. Be true to yourself. That's been your reading, Virgo. Have a great rest of your day and namaste.